Hey, you guys, Erin here back with another moon update for you. We are having a new moon coming up August 8th at 6:50 a.m. Pacific time. Now, you know what that means. We pull out our journals the night before on August 7th and write down what it is we're trying to manifest. And those manifestations are really specified by the sign in which the new moon takes place. So this new moon is in the sign of Leo. Leo is like the leader of the zodiac. It's ruled by the sun. This energy has great vitality, bravery, courage, great leadership skills, very playful, wants to enjoy the pleasures of life. So it's time to manifest growth in that way into our life over these next 6 months until we have the full moon in the sign of Leo. Okay, and we all experience this as a collective. However, it's also very unique to each and every one of us, depending on where that sign of Leo is in your own natal chart. Okay, for example, Leo, well, in a whole sign format, Leo rules my 9th house, my house of higher learning and advanced knowledge, which makes all the sense in the world because I have learned an abundance of advanced knowledge from quite a few of you Leos out there, Leo sun and Leo rising. So that's the area of my life that I will be manifesting these new beginnings in. For you, maybe it's in your first house, your house of self, manifesting leadership skills within yourself. Or maybe it's in your 10th house, your house of career, and you want to manifest leadership skills into your career. Or maybe your house of relationships. Maybe you want to manifest more playfulness and pleasure into your own relationship. This is the time to do that. We get one new moon in Leo per year. Well, usually anyway, it's very rare that we'll get to, but we do sometimes. But until next year, this is the time to manifest these types of energies into our life. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys to show you what's going on with this new moon. And if you're watching this on a phone, I seriously doubt you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Certainly try, but otherwise just listen to my words. Okay, so well, first of all, I work with geocentric Western astrology. And with that said, we put Earth right here in the middle, okay? And these guys right here, these are all the celestial bodies where they will be around us on August 8th. Okay, so we're gonna focus right here for a minute. This right here is the sun, and this right here is the moon. This is what happens when we have a new moon. The sun and the moon join together in the same degree, to the same minute, in the same sign of the zodiac. The moon is the mother, the sun is the father. They come together to create this energetic baby for all this new growth, okay? Now this new moon takes place at 16 degrees Leo, so there's actually a little twist of Sagittarius energy going on here, which is a very optimistic energy, a very wise energy, and also well, it could include some travel, some long distance travel. So that's something you can add into your manifestations if you like. Now this it's a very loose conjunction, but Mercury is also in the sign of Leo, fairly close. So will be a little blend of Mercurian energy going on here. Mercury rules the consciousness, also has a lot to do with our communication, the way we communicate with people. So that's something else you can add into your manifestation. Now, something else I do feel it would be very important for me to mention is that we're also experiencing an abundance of Aquarius energy, which is the polarity of Leo. Okay, it's the opposite sign of the zodiac of Leo. We just had a full moon in the sign of Aquarius, and we're going to have another one 2 weeks following this full moon. That's a rarity that we get, 2 full moons in the sign of Aquarius in a year. And that said, we're just getting a lot of Aquarius energy. And this sign of Aquarius is absolutely wonderful. It is like genius energy, but it's also highly electrical. And this said, it's like we're all a little more susceptible to the dangers of things like EMF, radiation coming off of our devices and that sort of thing, especially when the moon is full in the sign of Aquarius, especially if your own natal moon is in the sign of Aquarius. So it's a really good idea to keep yourself grounded. Make sure you're touching earth with your bare skin for plenty, at least 1 hour a day. If that's not possible, I would encourage you to look into an earthing pad or a grounding pad, or maybe some protective stones or something like this is aragonite. There's all kinds of ways to protect yourself from the dangers of EMF. And I would highly encourage us to do that, especially at this time. Now, also, let's see here. I think it's probably best if I mention this. This right here, what we're experiencing is Uranus going through the sign of Taurus. And I've mentioned this plenty of times before, but there's going to be a fairly strong square, which is a challenging connection coming from this new moon over to Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus is actually Aquarius's ruler. So that kind of amplifies everything I just said. We might see another little drop in the crypto thing, but I think that whole crypto thing is just going to go up and down and up and down, at least until January of next year, probably more like March. But so there's that going on. Now I've also see a couple more squares coming off of Mars going to the nodes. Okay, so these squares that are going on, we're probably all going to be experiencing a little bit of internal tension, but that's so we're almost always experiencing some sort of a square somewhere. There's always going to be some sort of an internal tension, but very specifically referring to these squares, the best way to get through those internal tensions, it's nothing that's going on out here. It's all that's happening within us. Keep moving forward, keep moving towards your goals. And that's also another thing about this sign of Leo. It's a fixed energy, meaning it's really good at staying persistent with things, staying consistent. It moves in a steadfast way. It's really good for achieving goals. So that's another thing we could add into our, manifestations, but it's also going to be helpful getting through these squares. Okay, now let's see. I'm also seeing a beautiful trine going between this new moon and Chiron. Okay, Chiron is most commonly known for it's the wounded healer. Okay, it teaches lessons. There's a lot of energies that come out of Chiron, but it's mostly known for being like the healing energy. And it's currently going through the sign of Aries, and Aries is the sign of self. And I've been seeing this for a while now, like it's a slow transit. It'll be there for another couple of years or so. And that sign of Aries, pulling that Chiron's healing energy, I'm seeing a lot of people wanting to heal themselves, which I love. I'm a huge fan of that. I've definitely done it myself. We can heal ourselves from most things with detoxification, nourishing ourselves, giving ourselves a proper nutrition, just taking care of ourselves in a really, profound way. And this new moon is making a harmonious connection with that energy. So for those of you who are on some sort of a healing journey, this is in really good alignment for you to add that into your manifestations as well. Okay, I'm also seeing quite a few other trines. Chiron's also making a trine to the south node. We've got some opportunistic energies going on. I don't want to make this too long, so I really just wanted to focus on the new moon energy, so we all know what to put into our journals on August 7th. One more thing I'll mention. We also have Venus and Mars going through the sign of Virgo. Now, this is really good in some ways because it's great to pay attention to detail, but try not to pay too much attention to detail. Try to take a step back to look at the big picture. Okay, now, all right, I'm going to leave that there for now and talk about some things with that sign of Leo. Leo rules the heart. Okay, this is heart energy. And not only that, but we have an energy field that comes out of our heart. This is proven, okay? This is not just woo-woo talk. This is proven. And that electrical energy that we're getting with that Aquarius energy can blend in with that. So keep our hearts protected, but also recognize this is a time to let our hearts expand over these next 6 months. Let that love grow. And also it's a really good idea to just pay a little extra attention to our hearts, our heart chakra. I really like, if I'm doing some heart chakra work, I really like using hawthorn berry is a really good herb. And then also Leo rules the spine too. So that's another area of our body that's a really good idea to pay attention to, especially when the moon is, when the moon is transiting through it, but especially for a new moon or a full moon in the sign of Leo. So I don't know, maybe some of you yoga people out there realize that and recognize it's a really good idea to get some poses going for your spine and your heart. Let's see here. Leo energy. It also, it's very much associated with two very beautiful flowers, which are marigolds and sunflowers. These are a couple of my favorite flowers. They look like the sun. And the marigold petals, if you are growing marigold flowers, I strongly recommend you can make a tea with them, a very medicinal tea with them, either with the petals dried or fresh. Just pour some hot water on those petals, make a tea with it. And again, very medicinal, even has really strong anti-tumor agents to it. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. So yeah, okay, let's move on. For those of you who've never seen my videos before, I really like to work with stones that resonate well with the sign that the moon is transiting through. Okay, so Leo's zodiacal birthstone is ruby. Okay, and I just happen to be very blessed to receive a ruby ring set in gold. It's an inheritance from my grandmother, but that gold is also, it's Leo's metal. Okay, so this is very much in alignment with that Leo energy. If you have any rubies or gold, that's something you might want to keep near you, especially when you're writing in that journal and when you're trying to manifest things. And there's also other kinds of ruby. This is, I think it's pronounced OPEC ruby, which is, affordable, very affordable. And, Leo stone here, also very grounding as well, which is great. But there's so many other stones that resonate very, very well with this Leo energy. I will leave a full extensive list of these stones either in the description or the comment section, just depends on where you're seeing this video. Just look around, you'll find a full list of stones, and a lot of them are very affordable stones that resonate well with that Leo energy. Okay, so I think I about covered everything. If you guys would like to schedule an astrology reading, please reach out at erinwageastrology@gmail.com or go to my website, erinwageastrology.com, and you can see all different sorts of packages for readings that I offer and that sort of thing, see my prices and that sort of thing. So I do hope to hear from some of you. And until next time, guys, namaste to all of you.